Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Marlene. I received a comment recently on a video about just-in-time retirement, admonishing me for the advice that I give in that video. The person says, anyone who takes your advice in this video will run the chances of being homeless, hungry, and in despair. Very bad advice. Now, let me say right off the bat that I appreciate any and all comments, and I do appreciate people being frank with me because it really does help me understand how my audience is thinking. And not only that, it helps other people in the comments and giving support and knowing what other people are thinking and doing about retirement. So with that being said, I think this comment reveals something a little bit bigger to me than just that they are in disagreement with me. I think this person has a lot of fear about their retirement. And I understand people are fearful about retirement. They are worried about the money. And we live in a society that teaches everybody this is what you're supposed to do for retirement. And if you don't do that, you're wrong. And I think that's where the fear comes in. If you don't do what all of the retirement gurus tell you to do, you're wrong, and nobody wants to be wrong. Everybody's afraid that they're going to make a mistake and do something wrong. So today I wanted to explain why just-in-time retirement isn't about taking reckless risks. It's not about being reckless. It's actually about reducing your risk by living differently. And I want to say that if somebody quits their job without a plan, no income, they have mountains of debt, they have no understanding of what comes in and what goes out, then yeah, they are taking a big risk. They're not even having any kind of conscious planning effort in their future. And that's not what I've ever said. I've never said you could just quit your job and everything can magically work out. That's not what I've said. That's not what I've suggested. So I want to talk a little bit about what just-in-time retirement actually means. And to start that off, I'm going over here to Google to read what they say about just-in-time manufacturing, because ultimately that is the premise for just-in-time retirement. We came up with this idea because if we said that companies and corporations can use just-in-time manufacturing, well, that can really be just as good for retirement. Why can't retirement use those same principles? Excuse me. So this is the AI overview. Seems like everything is AI overview these days. Just-in-time manufacturing is a production strategy where companies receive raw materials and components from suppliers exactly as they are needed for production, rather than stockpiling large quantities in a warehouse. The goal is to minimize waste, eliminate surplus inventory, and increase overall operational efficiency. Well, that is the message that we are trying to convey. That if you minimize and reduce waste, which that would be individual to each person to look into where they are having waste in their life. Oftentimes I'll suggest waste is big ticket items like boats or fishing camps, hunting camps, timeshares, a second home, any place where you are spending money on insurance, maintenance, upkeep, things that you don't use anymore, things that are really costing you money where you could get rid of it, sell it, and free up your resources and turn money. And that does help fund your retirement. You put that money someplace else. You use that money for something that you value. And then the whole thing with stockpiling money for an uncertain future. That just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Stockpiling money for an uncertain future, because you could save and save and save and save, and you just don't know what the future holds. So this is not to say going into retirement with no money. It's just saying, how could you possibly have all of your ducks in a row for the next 20 or 30 years. So when it comes to businesses, businesses continually adapt. And that's what I'm trying to suggest when it comes to retirement, that you can continuously adapt. You can continuously look at your situation. If you need to take a part-time job, if you want to take a part-time job, what is it that you are valuing at that moment? And that could change over time. So if you think my idea is risky, think of real life that I don't have anything to do about, right? Let's say you're working at a job. Is that automatically safe if you continue to work at that job until 65, 70? I know some people are working beyond 70. Is that really safe? You may have an employer that says, hey, Bob, I think it's about time you retire, huh? You know, they're trying to nudge you out the door and you're thinking, wow, I really need this job. I need the health insurance. I really want that money. But, you kind of get nudged out. What about inflation? Inflation is going to eat up your money. Okay, whatever money you think you have, I mean, the value of that money is going to get less and less and less with inflation. So our dollars really aren't worth anything anymore, and you lose your purchasing power. So none of that is automatically safe. The economy is not automatically safe. Your job isn't automatically safe. Your health isn't automatically safe. I will add as an aside here, I think we do have a lot to say about our health. We need to take care of it. But none of these things that I've mentioned, layoffs, health problems, age discrimination, dying before retirement, inflation, the dollar being worthless and your loss of purchasing power. None of these things I've mentioned are automatically safe. I like to have the motto, plan for the future, but live in the now. So we've been retired now for decades and we did not know every little expense. We adjusted, we adapted. And we also have a lot of freedom in making the choice to retire earlier instead of later. And every retirement plan does come with a risk, regardless of how much you save. Every retirement plan does come with a risk. So I guess the question is what risk are you willing to live with? Willing to risk postponing your life, waiting for some certainty that may never come? I really appreciate the comments like the one that I received because it really does start important conversations. So if you disagree with me, please let me know. Put them in the comments so we can start a conversation. I want to thank you for stopping by today. Take care, everybody. I'm Marlene with Rebel Retirement, and I'll see you next time. Hey, you guys, please take a look around my channel. I have hundreds of videos on topics including Social Security, Medicare, how to get out of debt, pros and cons of moving, relationship issues, health topics, and more. And all of these videos are based on my experience and what I have learned in retirement. And I know that many people are worried about money in retirement, and this is exactly why Rebel Retiree and I created our Just-in-Time Retirement series. And it's absolutely free, you guys, so it doesn't hurt to take a look at it. It's a mindset-based retirement planning strategy that eliminates waste and aligns your finances with your goals and values. With continuous improvement, you free up your resources to create an abundant retirement lifestyle. So I recommend viewing the playlist on this channel. And to get the full picture, visit our website, rebelretirement.com. And if you are nearing retirement and worried about your financial future, you're going to get a whole different viewpoint. See for yourself at rebelretirement.com.